Disney animator Glenn Keane claimed that typical Disney films have a sort of class system with their characters, such as the cartoonish sidekicks, the dramatic villains, the beautiful heroines, and the boring Prince Charmings. In this video, we will be taking some of those so-called boring princes and recreating them to see how they might have looked in real life, as well as talking about some of their character development and how old they were in the films. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Here on Mortal Faces, I take portraits and transform them to see how individuals we read about might have looked in real life. So let's get started. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more recreations, and let me know in the comments who you'd like to see in real life. Number 1. Prince Phillip. Prince Phillip was the first Disney prince to be given a name which was thought to resemble the prince that Americans knew best at the time, Elizabeth II's husband, Philip. The cartoon prince is several years older than Aurora, as he was pre-adolescent while she was still an infant. If Aurora was 16 in the film, then Philip, who was seen as a young boy when she was born, could be around 5 or 8 years older than her, making him in his early 20s when the film is set. Unlike the first two princes from Snow White and Cinderella, Philip is a more active character and has more speaking lines. In fact, he is the first Disney prince to lead an active role. He also maintains this style, defeating the main villain, whereas his predecessors in Snow White, the queen falls off a cliff, and in Cinderella, Lady Tremaine is left behind at the chateau. Number 2. Aladdin. Initially, Aladdin was to be a meek boy, but the developers thought that it would be too unrealistic to pair him with the lively Jasmine. One side wanted him to be along the lines of Michael J. Fox, and another like Tom Cruise. It was ultimately decided that Aladdin would be a combination of the two. Still boyish, but with a little bit more muscle and defined features, his youth and innocence would stay through his facial design and character portrayal. In the movie, he was an orphan, but his character development had him have his two parents alive. His father was Qasim and his mother was Zina. Zina was said to have died when Aladdin was very young, but her character was scrapped. His father stayed along and continued in Aladdin's third feature film, Aladdin and the King of Thieves. According to the story, Qasim left his wife and son in order to find a better life for his poverty-stricken family. Aladdin's mom dies alone. Aladdin turns to the streets. Qasim then returns to find an empty home and then becomes the leader of the 40 Thieves. Number 3. Prince Eric. The 18-year-old hopeless romantic had a much more tragic theme in the original Hans Christian Andersen story. We will skip to the part where he is saved by Ariel after his birthday party is caught in a storm. The prince, who was nameless, ended up marrying a different princess, whom he believed to be the one who saved him from drowning. As a result, the mermaid's heart broke, which meant she would also die at sunrise. In order to save her own life, she had to kill the prince in his sleep. However, she loved the prince too much and chose death instead. Number 4. Flynn Rider. According to the Tangled series, born Horace, then name changed to Eugene Fitzherbert, and then changed again to Flynn Rider, is the long-lost prince of King Edmund of the Dark Kingdom, which is a land far away from the Kingdom of Corona. His father, King Edmund, had to protect a magical moonstone, but thought it was too dangerous, so tried to destroy it. It didn't go as planned, and Flynn's mom died, so the king evacuated the kingdom and sent Flynn away to an orphanage in Corona, but lost track of him. With the reveal that King Edmund is Eugene's father in the final episode of Season 2 of Tangled the series, it is confirmed that Eugene is 25 and later turns 26 on his birthday in Season 3, Episode 12. Therefore, if in the sequel Tangled Ever After was set 2 years after the original film, and the series takes place in between the two features, then in the movie he would be about 26 minus 2 years, so 24, while Rapunzel was 18. Number 5. The Beast. The Beast is one of Disney's most unpredictable characters, because at first glance he is a fierce monster, but behind the intimidating face is a loving heart, which he displays towards Belle at the end of the film. The fairy tale was written by French novelist Gabrielle Suzanne Barbeau de Villeneuve and published in 1740 in La Jeune Américaine et les Contes Marins. And in this story, the prince is attracted to Beauty, who happens to be his first cousin. The prince informs her that his father died when he was young, and his mother had to wage war to defend his kingdom. The queen left him in the care of an evil fairy who tried to seduce him when he became an adult. When he refused, she transformed him into a beast. Only by finding true love, despite his ugliness, could the curse be broken. So I guess it's safe to say that the fairy did not handle rejection well. And it's stated that the beast's 21st birthday would occur after the final petal of the rose fell. This indicates that during the film he must have been 20. Number 6. Prince Charming. Prince Charming was the second Disney animated prince to be created. He was also the last Disney prince to lead a passive role, as afterwards, the princes all became much more active and talkative. He has a structural and muscular body with broad shoulders, fair skin, dark brown hair, and brown eyes. The prince's role in the original film was severely cut in order to retain focus on Cinderella, the mice, her family, and the fairy godmother. Initially, the prince was shown playing a game with his friend, a deer, and in an alternate ending, Cinderella was shown being brought to the castle to the prince. The prince finds out she's a servant girl but overlooks that and embraces her. He even had his own song called The Face That I See at Night. He is believed to be about 21 in the film. Number 7. Prince Naveen. Prince Naveen is a 20-year-old prince from the kingdom of Maldonia, which is a combination of Maldives and Macedonia. Maldonia was originally named Maldakesh, which is derived from the Italian language, and Naveen is an Indian name. Ultimately, he is from a made-up country that doesn't draw any definite conclusions as to where Maldonia is located. However, we can speculate that he could be from South Asia all the way up closer to the Mediterranean. Finally, Prince Naveen is the only Disney prince to have both his parents alive and present in his film. Hercules is going to be our last character for this video. He is 18 in the movies, as the fates say on the day Hercules was born that in precisely 18 years, Hades will be able to free the Titans from their prison. I'm going to leave you with an interesting factoid on how Hercules could be related to Ariel. If mythology is taken into consideration, then here's how the two might be related. Hercules' father is Zeus. Poseidon is a brother of Zeus. One of Poseidon's many sons is Triton, and of course, Ariel is Triton's 7th daughter. This means Hercules is Triton's first cousin, and Ariel is Hercules' first cousin once removed. However, if this were, then the time span would be thousands of years apart. But then again, Triton is an immortal demigod. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more recreations, please consider subscribing to my channel. Each of your subscriptions does help this channel grow, and it allows me to continue making more content for you. Is the best way to support me. Let me know in the comments who you'd like to see in real life. I do make a list of all your suggestions, and I will see you in the next one.